pop on because I've got a little bit of extra time before I have to wake Albert up, and I just thought that we'd have a little chat today. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, it's lovely to meet you. And if you're already existing, guys, then thank you so much for coming back. This is a weird angle, I need to get comfy. No, I was patting like a little dog. On the breakfast bar, when you put your feet under, you've got space, but obviously I'm jamming in the cupboard. Jamming in the cupboard, you know what I mean? I'm jamming my leg into a cupboard, shall I say. So I thought I'd come on. So I don't do a lot of Q&A videos or chatty videos at all, but I've got a little bit of extra time and I wanted to come on because I wanted to do this for a little while actually, and I've not. And it's only a quick little video, and it's, you know, it's just a little chat with you guys, just as a little update with life, and to be honest with you, have a little chat with you, because I've been doing this YouTube now for 3 years. I know it blows my mind that it's been going on for that long, but actually it's 4 years this year, and that literally blows my mind. Like, I can't believe it, even more so. But you guys are so amazing, like so amazing. You're so lovely. Obviously there are the odd few of you that might be watching that are not very nice, because I do get some not very nice messages. But if you are watching, then thank you for watching, and I'm sorry that you're in a place where you feel the need to give hate. That's not very nice, and you must be, you know. Also, there are people that just don't like me. I understand there are people that aren't struggling in life. There's nothing going on at all, but they just don't like me, and that's also fine. But I wanted to come on and speak to you guys who are watching the videos and say the lovely messages. And I very often get the messages that are like, I wish I had your confidence. So this is the whole reason why I wanted to come on. I've also got some paint in my hair, in case you're wondering. I have got some greys, but that is paint there. I've been painting this weekend. Not washed my hair yet. I'm a gross girl. So I wanted to have a little chat because I wanted to build up your confidence. So some of you say watching my videos has helped your confidence massively, but I feel like sometimes it's like the little prep talks that we have in pep talks we have while we're having try-ons and discussions, and that sometimes I get messages and it'll be like, Rosie, what you said there really made sense. So I really want you to get confident too. Like, I really want you to just feel at your complete best, because I know that spring is here, even though it's raining every day, it is spring, and summer will be around the corner before you know it. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years and it feels like a week. It will be here before you know it, and there'll be all the signs on Instagram and everywhere you look on telly, you know, your beach body, you know, that hot girl summer. Hot girl summer and beach body literally is you on the beach, a body on the beach. And, you know, hot girl summer, it isn't hot girl summer only if you're under a size 12. That's not how it is in life. It's not if you're a certain height or if your boobs look a certain way. Like, my boobs met gravity. Like, it met gravity and become its best friend and didn't want to leave it. Like, my boobs are on the ground, and I'm still going to be going braless in my shirt dresses with my little drooper loopers in the summer. And I just wanted to give you that little prep talk, because I know as soon as you come out of winter, and I remember, like, I'm confident now, but I wasn't always confident. Like, I really wasn't always confident. Like, I hated myself. But what spoke volumes to me is the fact that I was absolutely tiny and I hated myself. So you will always find something else. So I know sometimes, and I'm not talking about health, I would never say that. You can do all the diets in the world. If you want to improve yourself because you want to improve your health and stuff, then that's amazing. And even if you want to lose weight, that's your choice. Like, that is genuinely your choice. But if you feel like you've got to do it and you're struggling to do it, and you're only doing it because you feel like you're not right, or you don't fit in, or that you're ugly, or that, you know, you're just not how you should be, then I'm here to tell you that actually you are perfect the way you are. I don't look like the size that I should be on my frame, yet I give no cares about that, to be honest with you. I'm a bit of a swearer, so I've got to be very careful that I don't swear. I don't offend anyone. But I don't give two whatevers about that. And that's because I did realise the secret. Confidence isn't only something that you can possess if you look a certain way. Confidence is what everyone can have. And the secret is all the media outlets and, you know, the television, magazines and social media. You will see this confidence, and it comes from a set group of people, and you assume that confidence is only available if you're also one of them kind of people, and that's not the truth. Confidence is for everybody, and what you also got to remember is people that look that way may also be lacking in confidence. So confidence in there'll be people that, you know, look like me that are super confident, and people might be like, why is she confident and that girl isn't? Like, I don't understand it. Like, she possesses qualities that I wouldn't want to have, and she possesses qualities that I would like to have, and she's not, you know. And I just want to say, like, it really is within. So I started faking it until I made it at the beginning. Like, I absolutely hated myself, but I thought, you know what, I can't be in this rut forever. A few things happened in life as well that made me realise how short life was. And I was just getting wrapped up in this, everything mattered the way I looked. And I would be in a room, and this sounds so big-headed and self-absorbed and vain, if I'm being honest. When I say it, it just seems completely vain. It wasn't. It was my insecurities that was just magnified with my anxiety, and it made me feel that grandiose sense of self-importance. But like, I remember something significantly happening, and it was an occasion where someone had passed. And it was a case that I had to be there quick. Now, my first thought was, I have to be there quick to be there for somebody, like to support them, because it was someone else that was close to me that was losing someone that they loved. And obviously, I was there straight away with help, not said nothing. But the whole time I was there, I felt, oh my God, I've got no makeup on. Oh my God, what am I wearing? What is everyone going to think? And then I got home, and I know this sounds really silly, I really got upset with myself, and I was like, I give myself the biggest telling off ever. I was like, I understand, Rosie, that this is coming from a place of you being insecure, but how important do you think you are that when people around there seeing somebody that they're not going to have anymore, and you're worried that they're thinking, what do you look like? You're not that important. And it really dawned on me that actually all of these pressures that I had in my head and all of these things that I was thinking about myself genuinely were in my own mind. And I'm not saying other people, outsiders, don't think that, because obviously I get messages on the regular, oh, you're fat, you're promoting obesity, you're annoying, you're ugly, you look like a man. And do you know what? I don't actually care if any of that's true. You know what? I am overweight. Like, this is another thing that frustrates me. I feel like being fat is a dirty word. Like, and it's not a dirty word. And I'm not insulting anybody else, and I wouldn't put my views onto anybody else. This is obviously my channel, so I'm just telling you my opinion on stuff. Like, when I used to do Slimming World, one thing that's always annoyed me, especially since getting confident, because I've still gone to Slimming World after being confident, because I thought, do you know what, I want to lose a bit of weight, or I want to be at more comfortable weight. It doesn't make me hate myself while I'm not that weight, though. There's a difference. Like, a lot of people, they'll hate themselves before. They'll always see themselves as a before picture until they lose weight. But I wasn't. I was like, I love myself now, I'll love myself then. I'm not going to dress like a pile of crap now. Just like I won't, you know, reward myself with clothes then. Like, I'm going to be the same, but just slightly smaller. That's all I want to do, but to be less weighty, so when I move about, I'm not as out of breath. I haven't actually done that in a long time, because I can't actually bother with diets anymore. But when I did, I still felt the confidence. But I remember going in there, and they would be like, it used to annoy me. Like, it used to annoy me so much, because I'd queue up, and I remember Valentine's night going in there, and there was this lady called Michelle, and she ran the club. And I'm not being horrible now. She was awful. She was actually awful when I think about it. And I think her insecurities and her wanting you to thrive and do as well as she did, because obviously she'd become a rep, it sort of mirrored onto you. But what I could see was just like, it was so wrong how she was like treating people in there. Like, you know, I remember not wanting to go if I knew I hadn't had the best week. Now, that's not somewhere you should go. Actually, that should be the one time one place you want to go, and the one time you want to go is when you know you've not done so well, for the support. I remember going there, and it had been Valentine's, and we'd had, like, you know, I'd had a steak, and I had it with a jacket potato, and I got a dessert and stuff. She's like, maybe you shouldn't have got a dessert, and maybe you shouldn't have got the sauces. And that's when I thought, like, do you know what? I can't do diets, because this has got to be a lifestyle choice. Am I, for the rest of my life, gonna not eat them things? No, that's crap. And whenever you see somebody that's slim, they usually do have these little things to eat, but they know to balance in between. Like me, I'm like a glutton. I will just eat and eat. Like, I have got no medical conditions. Mine is I eat too much and do too little. That is a fact now. Like, I won't blame my pregnancy. When I was insecure, I wanted to blame it on that because I didn't want to admit that I was being greedy, because I feel like being greedy, it's shameful. And, you know, like being overweight, it's kind of a shameful thing. You can't be overweight. So you make excuses because you feel embarrassed. But I'm done with being embarrassed. Like, I am fat. Like, I like being fat. And I think fat's a nice word. And do you know what? I'm chunky and I'm squishy. My belly sits here now. And some people will say it's unhealthy. And that's fine. It probably is unhealthy. It probably is. But do you know what as well? I've had some really bad times in my life where I've had really bad mental health. And I can honestly say my life and my physical health deteriorates much more when I'm mentally unwell than when I'm physically unwell. So whether or not that have repercussions in the future, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm just trying to look after here first and here second. And I do eat really healthy meals. I just purge in the evening with Gary, but I'm happy. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so like, you used to go to Slimming World and they'd weigh you and they'd like you weigh, and whisper what you weigh. Now, I'm not being funny. I look like I weigh 15 stone. And if I don't, I look like no more than I weigh, you know, 14 stone at the minimum. So like, the fact that they're whispering this weight to you, because it's like, it's a dirty word, like you're not allowed to weigh what you weigh. Like, weight should not be an embarrassing thing at all. Like, I'm not embarrassed. Like, at the minute, I weigh 14 stone 6 and I don't care. Like, that's a weight. That's what I weigh. That doesn't weigh how much I love my children. That doesn't weigh how much I'm a good person or how fantastic I look in my clothes. It is a number for how much your physical body weighs on the earth. That is it. And that's why I give up all them groups. And I don't know. I don't even know where this chat is going, but I just feel like we're just chatting, vibing, having a little convo. I just feel like, I just wish that I could sprinkle confidence onto everybody, like I really do. And the only reason I feel like that is because it's like, have you ever, I don't know, it's like getting a dishwasher. I know this sounds silly. When I got a dishwasher, like, I still wash up as I go along because it's easier. Not everything will fit in my dishwasher because there's just too many of us, there's too many cups and plates. But after dinner, I will put stuff in the dishwasher. Now, when I used to stand there and wash dishes, now having a dishwasher, I'm like, oh my God. And I look at my old self washing up everything from dinner and I'm like, I know the secret. I think everyone should get a dishwasher. That's how I feel about being confident. Like, I wish that everyone would just be confident, because once you just transition over to that and you don't care no more, your life just becomes limitless. It becomes amazing. Like, there isn't nothing I don't think I can't do now. There isn't nothing I don't think that I can't wear. Like, I just feel fantastic. Like, I remember being, and this makes me so sad. I went with my friend, so I had a really bad time in my life. This is before I met Gary. And I remember losing lots of weight. I'm one of them people that loses loads of weight when I'm unwell. So if you see me really slim, it's normally because something, you know, like I've lost somebody or I'm going through a hard time in my life. Because when I'm happy, I'm chubby. That's how it always is. Like, I eat when I'm happy. I don't eat when I'm sad. I eat when I'm happy. And then I can't eat. I forget to feed myself. So I always lose loads of weight when I'm sad. And become really unhealthy. And I remember going to Topshop with my friend. We'd gone out for a shopping trip. And I remember I was a size 8 then. And I was always like a 10-ish on the bottom in Topshop jeans, because they always come up really small. I remember this. They used to come up really small, skinny jeans. So I used to get like a 10, sometimes an 8. And I remember getting a size 10 on. I was like, oh, they're a bit big. Now, I know I'd lost weight, but I weren't really thinking too much into it because I wasn't very well at the time. Like, I wasn't, you know, myself. And I remember saying to my friend, oh, will you mind grabbing me the size 8 jeans? And she was like, yeah, I'll go grab you the size 8 jeans. I remember feeling a little bit smug, like, oh my God, like, genuinely, I felt amazing because I was wearing a smaller pair of jeans. Like, when I even speak about it now, it makes me laugh because it's so stupid. And I put these size 8 jeans on and I was like, oh my God, they were too big. These size 8 jeans were too big for me. Now, I know some people that are insecure might be listening to this story and thinking that this is gold dust, like you'd love this to happen. Genuinely, if I could go back now, I would not want that part of my life at all. So if I have to do that to have that, then it's just not worth it. And I went back and she went and got me the size 6s. and I put the size 6 jeans on. I kid you not, they fit perfectly. Like, they looked amazing. But I didn't look amazing. I didn't feel amazing. I was very grey looking. I was very gaunt. I still remember cutting my mum's hair, because obviously I used to do hair before this. I was cutting my mum's hair. She had this big mirror in her kitchen. And I was cutting her hair. And I was doing this sort of pose, cutting her hair. And as I was cutting it, my mum was like, Rosie, freeze. And I was like, oh, what is it? What is it? A spider? She was like, no, just freeze. Just please don't move. Just turn your head in the exact pose that you're in and look in the mirror. And I remember just looking in the mirror, and she was like, you are skeletal. Like, you're skeletal. Like, I'm a bit worried about you. And I was like, and I'd always been slim before meeting Gary. When I met Gary, I got really chubby as a feeder. I was just super happy when I met Gal. And he's a foodie too. But I was always really slim anyway. But I just got really bad. And all of this sort of like stuck out on my cheek. My cheeks are really naturally this big. Like, they stay this size even when I'm skinny, but this bit goes in. And I look like the saw puppet. When I'm thin, I look like the saw puppet. I said this before on my stories on Instagram, like I done a live. Like, I genuinely look like I should have little black hair, and I did actually have like really short, dark, bobbed hair at the time. So like I just need a little red scooter and I'd have been all right. I look like a saw puppet, and I really weren't happy. And then I didn't really look at myself and think, oh, you look amazing, like, and enjoy it. I was like, oh, I don't like that really about my face now. I don't really like my hair. And because something that was on my list of what I hated, I no longer hated, I was then trying to think of other problems. And it was like, it just never ends. And I feel like unless you're confident, that will be the cycle that you're in forever. Like, you've really got to work on the inside. I really believe before you lose weight, work on loving yourself first. And if you still want to lose weight, then amazing, because then once you've lost the weight, you've gained the tools to know that you don't want to have to change anything else after. You're not in the vicious cycle of lose weight, then do this to yourself or do that to yourself. Like, you've just done it purposely for health reasons. Like, I used to say to people all the time, oh, I'm just doing it for health reasons. I'm just doing it for health reasons, because I didn't want to admit that I was doing it to lose weight because I was unhappy. Because I know it sounds really weird, the chubby person's always meant to be the bubbly person, aren't they? And I've always had a big personality, and I've always been the bubbly friend and the loud one. And I never really wanted anyone to know how vulnerable I was feeling. And you know what? I'm just past that now, and I just wish that I could sprinkle this. And it's just little stories, what I'm telling you. It's so random. I don't know what I'm going with this. But I just wish I could sprinkle it onto you, because life is so incredibly short. And the reason I wanted to come and do this is because I've been watching some series lately. And one of them in particular was called The Affair. And I don't know why, but it's broken my heart. Like, I love it. Like, it's like a part of me now. And I know it might not be like that for other people, but I find sometimes in your life, you'll listen to a song and it will just play to the beat of your emotions. And it may not even be a very good song to somebody else, but to you, it just does something to your soul. I know some people get that when they go to the opera. And sometimes I get that with films and series. And genuinely, I watched the series and there's a scene at the end, and the guy that's been young in it the whole way through, or like youngish, he's like 45, so still young. And then you see him as an older guy at the end, and there's this last scene, I don't want to do spoilers, but he sort of dances to this song. And the whole series is about things that happen in his life. And I remember someone in that is no longer in it, and you see their gravestone at the end. And when you look at the date, I was like, oh, so there's 30 years difference between the first part of the series when you see them, and then when they're gone, when they're classed as old. And I just thought, I've lived for 30 years, and 30 years has been nothing. So if that's what most people only get left in front of them, life is like, and it made me realise, I was like, oh my God, life is so short. Like, life is so incredibly short. Like, I remember sitting there registering Millie for, at the registry office, like when she was born. And now, like, she's jumping around, and she's only like, what? I know it's still a long time, but she's like 7 years off of what I was when I had her. Like, I'm like, oh my God, where's the time gone? And I know I was a young mum. You know, me and Gary, we've got our own house. I've moved out of my mum's house since I was 18. You know, I had Millie at 18. We got married when I was 22. Yeah. We had our own house, we was engaged, we had a baby. By the time we got married, we had 3 babies. And our life's just gone so incredibly fast. And when I look back at all my memories, none of their memories that were lovely memories would have been altered if I was bigger or smaller or shorter or taller. Everything that's in my life that's happy is actually all completely irrelevant to the way I look. It's who I am as a person. And yes, there are people out there that will not be accepting of you, but they're not your people. And I've learned that. Like, you shouldn't have to mould or change who you are as a person to attract others, because otherwise you're going to have a lifetime, because in order to keep them people in your life, you're going to have a lifetime of not being you. But with me, I know that no matter what I look like, whatever I do, I am truly loved. And I've got to say this, yes, I'm incredibly lucky and I'm not downplaying that, but at the same time, I'm not. That's what I deserve, and that's what everyone deserves, and everyone can have that if you just know your worth and you don't just try and change yourself to find anybody. If you find the right person, everybody can have that. And it all starts with loving yourself first. And I really mean that. You have got to love yourself first before anyone else can love you. In my circumstances, Gary just loved me. And in that respect, I was very, very lucky. But I know I could be loved as well. And maybe not, because I feel like I believe in manifesting. I believe in that everyone can have everything. But at the same time, I'm also a bit of an old romanticist. And I don't believe I'll ever find love like what I have with Gary. I feel like he's my other half, he's my soulmate, he's my twin flame, he's everything. But I do believe that had I have even not met Gary, I would have been just as respected and just as loved. Because I know my worth now, and I love myself, so I'd only accept that into my life. Like Gary, he's a really good guy. Like, he's not the sort of person, like sometimes you see like a relationship and like the woman or the man will get to a certain age and they'll say, well, if I met you now, I wouldn't put up with the stuff that I put up with before because I'm not young anymore. I feel like that stage, do you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of that is confidence, because I feel like a lot of it comes with age, when you realise how life short is. And I know there's a lot of older people that are not confident and struggle. And I do feel like I had some really good role models in life to show me not to care. And I'm lovely as I am. And I was lucky in that respect. But then I've also had a lot of, I don't really speak on here about a lot of things. Like, I think if I ever done a life stories, I think people would be quite surprised. I've had a lot of crazy things in my life. And a lot has happened, but I'm never one to sit there and play my guitar and sing the songs about it, or to even tell people. So there's like even really close friends that might not know everything. I mean, obviously my closest best friends know everything. And even that, I love that, because I am a really, really happy person. I think if some people knew some of the stuff, I don't even think they'd expect me to be half as happy, not even one bit happy. So all I'm saying is, without going into that, because obviously that is stuff that I just choose to keep private, but you can be happy, and you really can just push yourself to be happy. And I know, even though I will probably get people, because I always get this, when I have said before, don't dwell on it, I've had people talk about depression and mental health, and they've said, but it's not the same. You can't just not dwell on it. All I will say is this, just please take my advice. I know exactly what you're talking about. Without trying to just tell anyone my life story, I completely understand. I know a lot about mental health. And a lot of mental health illnesses run in my family or people that I know and care about. So I'm very like, I've seen firsthand a lot of things and know a lot of things because of it. And yes, there are things that you cannot change, and there are things that, that just going, oh, I can't do this anymore, I'm going to be better, won't work. But looking after yourself the best way you physically can, not criticising yourself constantly, just accepting yourself, choosing to be happy over being sad. And I'm not on about that physical state of depression where you feel like you physically can't do nothing, like you're walking through hot glue, like you just can't, you're treading custard, you just can't go there, like you can't do it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, even while you're doing that, don't immediately go, I'm giving up, or I don't like myself, or I hate myself. Be like, yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling more than anyone else. I'm not doing what anyone else is doing, but I'm in my own lane. I'm in a custard lane. And all of them people are further because, yeah, they can swim it or they can run it and I can't. But look at me, I'm still standing, I'm still going. There'll be days where I stop and I will pause and I won't carry on. But I will never fall back and I will never walk back. I will always just keep going, even if I have to stay there, even if I have to stand there for a year until this passes and I can push myself a little bit further, even if it's only a step, even if it's a movement of an ant can make, and then I pause again for a year and then go again. Just love yourself, try and be happy and just enjoy life. This is such a random chat that we're having, but I just get messages a lot from a lot of people, and I get some people that have lost people, that are grieving or going through some real hardships. And I don't ever want to be one of the people that go, yeah, I've been through that, or I know that, or whatever. So I always want to offer hugs and, you know, be like, I'm there for you kind of thing. But it's in comments, it's kind of difficult. And you don't want it to look a little bit like you're just saying it because they've messaged you on a video. So I thought I'd just post a little video of me just having a chat. And if you are having a bad time or you are feeling not very confident and not very great in yourself, hopefully this will feel like I'm speaking to you personally, because I am. I'm reaching out. I want to speak to you personally, to love yourselves. You know, if you don't want to be the way you are, lovely, but don't see yourself as a before picture. If you don't want to tidy up your house, don't feel like you're not good enough and that you're messy, you're lazy or you're whatever. Just remember, everyone is different. Everyone has different homes. Everyone has different goals. Everyone has different aspirations. Like, I don't judge anybody for what they want to do with their life. There's a lot of things that people deem what everyone would want, and there's a lot of things like that I don't want. You know, and I suppose I do things that other people might not want. So what I'm trying to say is comparison is the thief of joy, whether that be body weight, homes, personalities, partners, children, life in general. We're all in our own lane. And the only person that can really, really, truly love you and make your life better is you. It is you. It starts from you. And I truly believe that once you are everything that you naturally are, even if you have things that you think are bad sides to you, like I'm not always completely happy. I've got a really dark sense of humour, like really dark sense of humour. Like I laugh at things that I know I shouldn't laugh at, but I can't help it. And maybe that is through things that I've been through in my life. I do have a dark sense of humour, and I can be a grumpy cow sometimes, and sometimes I don't want to tidy up, and sometimes I don't feel great. I can be really confident, and there are days where I still feel like rubbish, obviously. So, you know, just try and be the best version that you can be of yourself every day. And if you can't be, then don't hate yourself for it. Just chill, take a reset, and then start again the next day. So I'm going to go anyway because I can hear a little whimpering from Albert. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video because it's really random, really, really random. But I don't really do many vlogs. I don't really do many chats, but I just thought, I'll come on and have a chat with you guys. And I'm feeling really good in myself, and I think it is the sun. And I was just thinking like, oh my God, there's just so many people. And I was a bit chilly, and I put a coat on. And then it got hot and I took it off and I had my arms out, my hand on it. And then I just thought to myself, how many women are going to be covering up and sweating in this heat because they can't bear to have their little jiggly arms out? And then I thought, like, I remember that was me, like covering my arms up when they was like stick thin because I hated myself. And like when I look back, I'm just like, why? So I just want to give that little bit of love. I'm wafting the bingo ring love to you guys. So I've been Rosie Henshaw. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If it gets uploaded, take care. If you've got any questions or you ever want to chat to me about anything, I can chat in the comments. But if you want it private, follow me on Instagram. Again, you don't even have to follow me because I'm not public, private actually. You can just go on there and DM me personal messages so I can message you in there. We can have a little chat if you ever need the support. So I've been Rosie Henshaw. See you later. Take care. Bye.